talk? Do I talk to the camera? Or do I talk?
I'm talking here.
Whatever. Where do I
You
look?
can look at me or look in the camera. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Open Door Hypnosis TV. I am Shara Prophet, the Mind Magic Coach. And today, we're talking about how to use magic in everyday life. And a very, very special guest. This is one of my besties. This is Cece.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
So she's here today because she was one of my beta testers for the B.E.M.A.G.I.C course that I keep telling you guys about in every video that I do. And we are also having a little sippy sip because it is Saturday. Cheers.
Cheers.
And it's time to have a drink somewhere in the world. So all right, so we're just going to jump right in. And hi, R2D2. Hello. So we're just going to jump right in and just start talking a little bit about the program. So can you tell us a little bit about like some of the most significant things that happened as a result of the work that you did in B.E.M.A.G.I.C?
Well, for me, I actually started with the program thinking that I wanted to tap into something else. Like I thought that I needed help kind of reprogramming myself to, be more mindful of like what I was eating and, losing weight. But at the end of the day, one of the first lessons that we did was something called Pendulum Magic.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first lesson was called Be Bold. And I felt like that was really significant because, my path basically, which is turning into more like leaning towards real estate and, not being afraid to kind of take a step back and take a chance, like take risks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so with the Pendulum Magic, it helped me kind of like hone in on that. And then for the rest of the course, it allowed me to just use or realize different methods of like tapping into what I needed to do to continue moving in that direction. And I mean, I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit later, but now I'm well on my way.
Yeah. So you realize that the true path for you right now, and what another thing that I tell all of the students in the class is that because we have so many goals, like Cece thought she was going to start off with weight loss and health and fitness. But because we have so many goals, we have to, before we choose something to focus on, we have to figure out what that is. And the subconscious mind knows what it is, because the subconscious mind is going to help you pick the one that's going to be kind of like I like to call it the gateway drug.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that gateway that kind of opens up to everything else that you want to do. So if you have a list of like 10 really huge goals, the pendulum exercise helps you really hone in on that. And what did you find surprising? And kind of, I don't know if you knew anything about pendulums before we did that exercise.
I didn't know anything about them.
Okay.
Like nothing.
So
actually.
What did you find surprising about doing that particular exercise?
Well, I mean, I feel like we've been friends a long time, obviously. And I've been on your journey to like finding your connection with magic. And so I've seen you do it before. And, I think with magic in general, I think everybody's a little, skeptic about like what it really is.
Yeah.
And like, is it real? And I found that with the Pendulum Magic, like I said, you draw your quadrant and, you put the yes, the no, the maybe, I don't know. And I found that when doing the Pendulum Magic, it was literally giving me the answers I needed. And I wasn't manipulating it. I wasn't, I think it is just like you just said, it is your subconscious. So your subconscious you're tapping into that and it's giving you the answers that you already know.
Yeah.
So it's, it's not magic in a sense of like, you wish for something and it comes true. It's like, you're tapping into what it is that you really want, that you're kind of suppressing.
Yeah.
And it comes out in that moment with the pendulum, like I said, I thought my journey was going to be about fitness. I thought it was going to be about, losing weight. I thought it was going to be about trying to find more time for myself because I don't make a lot of time for myself. But when in reality, it's like, actually, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you have your hands in a bunch of different things and you need to keep doing that. And that is going to be, what opens up doors for other opportunities for you. And also is what's going to ultimately make you happy.
Yeah.
And, I even brought up, literally the first lesson for me was just like, I'm just going to ask it a bunch of questions. I don't know what this is. Let's just give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
And, I asked a question about fitness. I asked a question about I have a family cruise coming up, and I was just like, I have all these things I want to do, and it's such a long period of time. Do I really want to do that? Just asking all these questions. And the thing that the pendulum pointed to the most was real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate. I was in a moment of okay, should I sell my house? Should I not sell my house? Is this what I need to focus on right now? Mm-hmm. Or should I be focusing on, just staying the path that I'm on and just being content with life? And we're in a good place, me and my husband and my family. And I'll take this trip with my family and I'll get fit and skinny again. And it was just no, that stuff is not what you need to focus on. It's not that it's not something you shouldn't do, but your focus needs to be on this real estate. And
because it's the gateway.
It's the gateway.
Yeah.
Honestly, and it's opened up so many, now that I feel empowered to be fully focused on that, it's just been the floodgates are open. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In so many ways. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So Pendulum Magic for me was like I said, it was kind of the first, I love that it was lesson 1 because it sets your intention from the very beginning. Yeah. It gives you something to focus on. It gives you something to measure against, through the weeks. And at the end of the day, it really helped me to focus my energy on that and not feel like this was the wrong thing to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it makes you just feel better once you kind of get that confirmation from yourself, Mm-hmm. And one of the things, guys, that I stress in this program is learning how to be your own counsel. Take your own counsel instead of constantly asking everybody, what should I do? What do you think I should do? It's you already know what to do. Mm-hmm. If you sit still enough and you figure out how to use a specific tool to tap into that, then you'll automatically come into an answer. So cool. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. And it's Black Girl Magic time. Let's take a cheers.
Hey.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And a little sip is sip. We ain't eat nothing today.
It's fine. We'll eat after this.
Who knows where this is going to lead, child? We don't know where this is going to lead today. But it's okay. Hello.
Yes.
All right. So what was the next lesson?
Okay. So
I already forget.
Well, I wrote it down.
Oh, good. Okay.
So lesson 1 was be bold. That was Pendulum Magic. Lesson 2 is be empowered.
Right.
So that's where we recognized our blocks.
Yes, that's a good one.
And then we focused on positive opposites.
Okay.
That was really powerful for me as well. Yeah. And actually, it's funny because I this is the workbook that I used, but I believe this is what my positive opposites were. So, or at least just goals that I had. Pull it up. Fear of failure. Yeah. Well, these are blocks that I had, right? So
really quickly, I'm going to tell them what the positive opposites is. So positive opposites is when you come up against some block, or whatever that you have towards a goal that you're trying to achieve. And then, so the positive opposites, one side of the list, you're going to write down all of your fears or what you feel is blocking you. And then the other side of the list is the opposite of that. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, so I have right here, I just have my fears, but my fears were fear of failure. And this is obviously now that we focus on my goal of just being basically my goal is to be financially independent of my job. And just be able to kind of move forward in life, doing the things that are meaningful to me, but also will bring wealth to my family and success. And it could be a multiple thing. It could be my job plus real estate. It can be my job plus real estate plus something else. So just not being afraid to step outside of my comfort zone. I've always had a job, and just build my own empire. That's basically what I got from B.E.M.A.G.I.C. So the first negative or just, block for me was fear of failure. The other was unable to sustain our income. If we were to step outside of, just, our 9 to 5, can we still live the lives that we're living, and afford our lifestyle, unable to provide for my family. I've never not had a job, carrying the weight of making money on my shoulders, just like I feel, we live in a society now where it definitely takes 2 incomes to sustain a family. And it's like, do I really want to walk away from an income to, pursue my dreams? That was a huge fear for me.
Yeah.
And then, will I be motivated enough on my own to succeed? But the reality is, it's like the positive opposites to all of those is like, absolutely.
Yeah. Because the money is the motivator.
Like, duh.
It's like, if I leave my job, hell yeah, I'm gonna hustle.
It's gonna be. It is a hustle though, and I feel like for me, because I am such a, I'm a planner. Like, I'm not a risk. I am a risk taker. But I plan my risk as well. I think I'm risk averse, so I like to know what are the potential, negatives that can come of this. So I definitely plan it out, and so I'm not necessarily like 1 foot out the door of my job yet, but I am finding a way to make sure that what it is that I'm doing is going to sustain my lifestyle, and I'm going to be able to take it with me when I do leave. Like, you and I had brunch last week, and it was like, I told you about this new promotion that I'm up for and I'm really excited about. And you said to me, but don't forget to keep, sight of your goals. And I was like, hey, I feel you, and I'm 100% not going to lose sight of that, but I do see that I'm going to grow and I'm going to learn, and I'm going to be able to take that with me, 2 years from now. Like, my goal is to retire at 45. I'm 39. I'd like to retire at 45.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is going to set me up for that, but again, the lessons that I learned in the B.E.M.A.G.I.C course allowed me to see that, like, the real path for me is not working a 9 to 5.
Yeah. I don't think that's anybody's real path.
It's
you
just
can't
not
get rich working a 9 to 5, honey.
Yeah.
It can, a 9 to 5 is great because it will be the capital that you need to invest in yourself and to invest in your money. Invest in your business. Nobody has ever gotten rich from a 9 to 5.
Yeah. Some people do.
Some people do, but it depends on what business you're in. If you're in the financial world and you can climb the ranks and you become the VP or whatever, and you have stock in the company and things like that, then yes, you could get really, really rich. I know some people who've gotten wealthy from working for somebody else, but us regular folk,
But at the end of the day, but for me, it's not even just about wealth. It's about happiness. It's about, like,
fulfillment, doing what you love to do.
Like, it's about setting yourself up for, a lifetime of, stability, financial stability. But it's also about, like, tomorrow's not promised, and I don't want to wake up 15 years from now and regret that I didn't take a chance on myself.
And also, nowadays, people don't work at places for 20 and 30 years
they
the
don't.
way they used to, because companies are constantly turning over, they're folding, they're merging, they're changing hands. And so you just don't have that same kind of security that our parents had. They could work a job for 40 years and retire and be just fine.
Exactly.
But we can't do that anymore. So you've got to be innovative and, like, get bold, and that's what be bold. That's what that's all about. So
that was lesson 2.
Okay.
Lesson 3. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask really quickly, because as Black people, we are raised in a certain way in religions, and we both have Christian Baptist backgrounds, right? So what was did you have any apprehension about doing this with your background and
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Yes, we do both have, big church family backgrounds. My mother passed away in 2012, which was obviously devastating. And I remember, being in the car ride with her to the hospital the last week of her life, which I obviously I didn't know, and promising her that I would start going to church more. I was like, Mom, I'm gonna go to church, and I knew that just, like, made her feel, she needed to hear that.
Yeah.
And then I remember even at like, her memorial at the church, I brought that up. And I think I went for a few weeks. You and I went. I was going with you to church. But, I just felt like I needed to it wasn't really about actually going to a house of worship, although there is something, obviously important about that too.
Yeah.
But, and for me, it's more about like the tithing and the spirituality. It's about giving back, and it's about, tapping into or just being able to connect with a higher being.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what I was expecting to get out of this course anyway. It was just like allowing me, so the meditation, which was week 3 actually, lesson
which
2,
actually talks about tithing.
Yes, it does. Tithing to yourself in time. So that's actually perfect. That
yes.
But we totally didn't plan that. But it allows you, and it allows you. It basically is about like, so I'll just go into what your lesson was about. I don't want to give too much because people need to take the course, but it's about tithing to yourself. So just there's amount of time that you spend doing things in your day, and you allocate a percentage of that to yourself.
Yeah.
And then that percentage of time you meditate. I've always had a really, really, really hard time meditating because I just can't shut my mind off. I'm kind of a busybody. I'm like constantly going. I don't go to bed till after like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning every night because my mind, I can't shut it off.
Yeah.
And so I've always had a hard time.
That's most people's problem why they don't meditate.
So I've always had a really hard time just like quieting my mind enough to actually like really get into a meditative state. And, with the tithing, which was lesson 3, which basically forces you to like make that a part of your day to day, especially while you're taking the course, just being still. Like I found that like for me, just being still and really the only time I could do it was in the morning.
Yeah.
And, my husband told me he was doing it. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know, I'd wake up and I'd look over and he'd already be up. But he'd be for the last 30 minutes just being still and just being alone in his thoughts, and not his thoughts, just being quiet.
Yeah.
So once I gave myself a percentage of time, for me, it was 40 minutes, just based on like her program and like what she told us how to allocate the time, 40 minutes a day. So I'd wake up, and as much time as I had before my son came running in the room or whatever, I would just be still. And, and for me, it also, the guided meditation really helped me. Like once I realized that, like, okay, I don't have a problem necessarily. It's just everybody has a different way of doing things.
Yeah.
I needed to hear her voice,
taking
me to that place, and I made sure to take a weekend off and just meditate the whole weekend for my birthday. That's what I did this year, which was really amazing. But
good.
But yeah, so tithing is a big part of it. But yeah, no, I didn't find, bringing it full circle, I didn't find any issues with like being a person, a child of God and doing this course. I feel like what it does is it allows you to tap into your spirituality even deeper, like it's not just about what someone else is telling you should feel. It's actually knowing that you have that energy within you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can tap into it at any time. And it's like, it's really empowering to know that, like, okay, everything around me is in chaos. And, I can't control the things around me, but I can control how I feel, and I can control what I think, and I can control how I receive things, and I can control whose energies enter my realm and block those. And, all those things are just like, they're tools to like live your life. They're tools to continue moving forward. They're tools to have to progress and not fall back.
And they're tools that are in the Bible.
Yeah, exactly.
And people, we think, oh, Jesus does that. We don't do that. We let Jesus do it for us. And Jesus is like, I tried to tell them, but they don't know. They ain't doing it right. So, and that's, and you said it's empowering, but that was the name of that lesson, Be Empowered.
Yeah.
Was that lesson?
Well, lesson 2 is Be Empowered. That was
Be Mindful. Be Mindful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, what we were talking about with the tithing and stuff, that was lesson 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
Yeah.
And so, so when we're talking about magic, I know people want to see spell work. I don't do spells on this channel, and I probably never will, because there's enough of that out there. To me, the spells are helpful because it helps you focus your energy. Mm-hmm. But the spell is not what's making the magic happen. It's you, because the candle is just a candle until you put your energy into it, until you bring yourself into it. I talked about Ouija boards last week. A Ouija board is just a Ouija board. It's just a cardboard board with a plastic piece of material. Mm-hmm. Until you put your energy into it. There's nothing outside of you making that move. You have to touch it for it to move. So that's with everything else in life. If you want your life to move forward, you have to put your hands on it. You have to put your intention into it. You have to put your energy into it. You have to bring your mind, you have to bring your focus and your intention into it. So when we talk about magic, it's not like, oh, I'm just saying some words and poof, shit happens. Mm-hmm. It's, I'm really doing some work. I'm bringing my power into this. And you have to have power behind you. But before you can find the power, you have to tap into it. And so that's what this program takes you step by step by step by step into that. And this is, beginner level, kind of neophyte level, but it's very, very very, very powerful, because once you go through those steps, you're like, damn, yeah, I'm powerful. What else can I do? Yeah. How else can I apply this, not only to my life, but maybe bring this to other people and help my family and help my friends and help the people that I work with, So yeah. Cool. All right. So what was the next one? Was that Be Agile? Yeah.
Lesson 4 was Be Agile.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was Swish Pattern. Yeah. It was about basically, swishing out all the negative energy, absorbing all the positive energy. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That was actually a really great lesson. I feel like, I had done that work in a way, just from, again, I feel like losing a parent, going through all of that, trying to focus more on the positive as much as possible. My son brought a lot of positive energy into my life. So that lesson for me was
Mike from Liverpool. Hi, Mike.
But that lesson for me, it was almost kind of just a reminder of just continue to, when you do feel the negative energy coming on, you have the tools to get rid of that. But I feel like I've always really I feel like I keep my blockers up for the most part, which maybe sometimes isn't good. I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's okay to let your guard down a little bit. But for me, my life going forward is just all about positivity. Anybody who's in my realm, anything that's in my realm that isn't serving me or that I can't serve in a positive way. Yeah. I just don't, it's just not even. Yeah. And I know that lesson for some of the energy work, some of our I don't want to say our students that were in the class with us. That was a really powerful lesson for them, because some people were having a hard time putting those blockers up and not being able to, keep the negative energy out and didn't know how to get rid of it. Yeah. So yeah,
or how to benefit from it. I mean, that comes a little bit later, but I talk a little bit about, I made a video a few weeks ago about how to benefit from all kinds of energy, because all energy is just energy. It's just, we choose how to use it. But you can benefit from it. If somebody's being an asshole around you, you might be looking at them and what good quality do you have? I'm going to suck that out.
Oh, I'm totally, that's completely where,
suck your ass dry.
That's where I live. That's the realm I live in now.
I'm going to suck you dry so that you don't even have any more energy left to be an asshole anymore. When you leave me, you're going to be like, I need to go home and lay down, take a nap. But I think when we start to understand that, we're able to be anywhere and do anything and be around anybody and just be like, I know how to handle this right now without saying one word. And
100%. 100%. I feel like it's funny that we're even talking about this right now, because I kind of had a moment of that recently with someone, and the old me would have said what I needed to say. Right. But the new me is just you know what? she's in a place where the energy that she's receiving is not, she's receiving energy she doesn't even need, and she's projecting that
right
onto me. And it's like, I'm not going to say what I would normally say, because I feel like I'm just in a better, like my energy, like I'm not even going to let your energy come in contact with mine, but I do know that I might need a day or a minute.
Yeah.
And then I can kind of resolve it and feed you the energy you actually need. You actually need positive energy.
Yeah.
And I want to be the person to give that to you.
Yeah.
So anyway, I feel like it's just kind of helped with, understanding energies even more.
Oh yeah.
And understanding the power of energy, and the fact that like sometimes the energy people are giving you is been received by someone else or something else.
It's not even
being
theirs.
Transferred. It's not even their energy.
Yeah.
So that was a really, an extremely important lesson.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I've been really mindful of putting up those blocks and not allowing that to really enter my realm. So great lesson. But for me, and that goes into lesson 5, being grounded, clearing,
that's the energy,
putting up the shield.
lesson.
Yeah. So all of that was definitely helpful for me.
Yeah.
Lesson 6, be intentional. That lesson between, I'd say, Pendulum, being empowered, the sigil, and the being intentional those were the ones that I like really latched onto. Blessing your water, blessing it with your intention, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm drinking champagne, just knowing that like, okay,
but you can bless this.
You bless everything, blessing the food,
blessing
my son's food, like keeping him safe, keeping him healthy. It's just been kind of really eye-opening, and it's just another reassurance that like you have the power to manifest what you want.
Yep.
And for me, like a mantra that I even got out of this whole thing is, I'm married, but like my husband, my last name starts with a P. And when I did my sigil, I decided that when I did my sigil, I was like, I'm going to try to find like a mantra that speaks to my married last name. Like because how I am. I'm married, but everything that I own, everything that I have still says my maiden last name, And I'm like, I need to really just like change that and devote myself more to this man that I'm married. And I have, I'm devoted to him.
Absolutely.
But the name part is still a little hard for me. Because, I love my family. I love my family. And, I have my own identity. But I decided that my mantra I was going to do around my last name, which starts with P. And from everything that I gather from all of these lessons, and not to close or anything, but like, what just came to me one day is peace, prosperity, passion, and purpose.
I love that. Yes.
Like that is how I want to live my life. That's how I'm living my life. But I want to always continue to only allow peace in my life. I want my family to be prosperous. I want what I'm doing in my life to be fueled by the passion and purpose. I don't want to do anything that's not going to be purposeful in some way, shape, or form to me and my family. And that's important to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not fake. I don't want anything to be just because I just want to be balling out. It's not about that. It's, I want to be able to give back. I want what I'm doing to be fueling my passion for life. And again, like I said, I'm finding that what I learned lesson 1 with the pendulum, which was like, focus on like building your empire. That's what you need to do. Don't be afraid to do it. Like now I just have this fire in me that I just used to suppress. I used to be afraid to recognize that because again, I didn't want to leave my job. I didn't want to worry about not being able to provide for my family. I've never not had a job, but now that I'm focusing on that, my job has new meaning to me. Now I'm looking at that as like, okay, I have a term that I'm going to devote to that.
It's a ministry.
Yeah.
It's a ministry.
Yeah. And I'm going to do it. And then when the time comes to walk away, I'm going to walk away and I'm not going to feel, but I will have already set everything else up. So now I can walk away and feel good about it because I put just as much passion into my personal growth
Yeah.
that I have into this job that I'm doing, which I've always fully committed to, you know, and now it's like I'm committing to myself.
Yeah.
And my family.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel overwhelming. Once you get it straight in your mind and you know what your priorities are, you can go and have your 9-to-5 job because you have enough reserve to give to your business, to your passion.
God. Yeah.
Because you're not worried about anything anymore. You're not afraid. You have compartmentalized things in your mind where you're like, I do this. I'm grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. I get to serve. I get to help people, and I make a nice paycheck. And I get to take that money and I get to flip it over here doing what I love to do and have a good time doing that.
Yes.
So it just shifts the whole perspective. And I think most people are so drained after they get home from
100%.
work, they don't even try
100%.
to pursue their dreams or the business that they want to open because they're so tired. But the only reason why they're tired is not because of the job that they're working. They're tired because this is making them tired. They're overthinking it. They haven't prioritized. They haven't compartmentalized. They haven't looked at it like.
And maybe it's not a passion. Like maybe it was at one point in your life. And it's like, you'd be surprised how much more energy you have when it's something that you're passionate about. You know, like I was always tired. I mean, tired is like, my husband always says to me, like, you taking your vitamins? Like, I'm always tired.
Yeah.
But now I'm doing so many things. I have my hand in so many little things that when I tell people I've got this, I'm doing this, you know, even when I'm like, oh, I'm going to start managing this new property too. And my husband's like, can you do all that? I'm like, that ain't nothing for me. That's the easy part because that's something I actually want to do. Like I enjoy doing it. It doesn't take much. And it actually satisfies this part of my brain that allows me to just be, like I said, I'm a control freak and I get to be in control. So it's fueling that part of my psyche. It's fueling that part of my personality, which I love, you know, and I'm like, bring it on. Like I can take on all of that. That's nothing to me because I'm already set up mentally to be able to function in that way. And now I'm fueled. I have fueled that side of myself. And now I'm feeding that need, you know, and I still have full energy for the 9-to-5, you know, which is an amazing career, by the way. It's not like just some whatever. But, you know, like I said, I do have, you know,
goals.
I have goals, and it doesn't necessarily involve working for someone else. I may still very well be doing what I'm doing. It just won't be in that capacity for ever. You know? So
Good. Good. I'm happy because I know you and I've known you for a very long time. So I'm happy to see this amount of clarity and like just peace about everything. It's just like, okay, I got this. This is cool.
No more fear.
You know? No more fear. No more, you know, like anxiety or worrying about how am I going to do this? What is it that I want to do? And it's like, I already know what I'm doing. I'm doing it and it's cool and it's fun. And now I can just breathe and live. And yes, you get tired. I'm tired as hell. I'm always tired.
I mean, it's exhausting.
But
it's exhausting just living in general.
Satisfying tired. You know, it's a satisfying exhaustion. It's like, whew, I just got finished doing everything that I love to do today. I mean, I stayed up to 2:00 in the morning working, but I was working on shit I love to do. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, this is fun for me, you know? And then I woke up this morning, I was able to do something else that I love to do. So even though I'm tired, it was like, get up, let's do this. We got to go, you know? So it's good. It's good to be in that space. And that's what magic is. That's what real magic is. Magic is being completely and totally in control, completely and totally like the navigator of your life, the captain of your ship, and just saying, you know what? I'm looking at something right now. I don't really want to see that. I want to see something else, and being able to switch it just like that. And real quick story on the highway yesterday, you know, a couple of days ago, on my way home from work, I started playing a game with the universe. I was like, all right, I'm just going to play a little manifestation game. So I was like, I am so happy and so grateful that I get to see a butterfly fly in front of me right now. How about maybe 5 seconds later, a butter? I was like,
wow.
are you fucking for real? And see, the thing is that I shouldn't be this surprised
Yeah.
because I've been doing this for a while and I have manifested way bigger things than a butterfly.
Yeah.
But it never ceases to amaze me. And I think it's something important about having that kind of joy and appreciation for it. So then I was just like, okay, all right, I got you. Okay, let's do this again. I was like, I'm so happy and so grateful now that I see a leaf blowing in front of me on the 405. Okay, I mean on the 10. So I waited like about a minute passed. I was like, all right, I ain't see no leaf. Girl, all of a sudden, all these leaves,
Wow.
all these like little, the little like leaves that are shaped like that,
Mm-hmm.
all of them just started blowing across the freeway. I was just like, are you kidding me right now? And then I was like, all right, I am so happy and so grateful now that I see a red car. And it took a couple of minutes. Next thing I know, every car I saw was red. So that just gives you like, when you play games like that with yourself, it just really kind of amps you up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I mean, and you know, some of us, I'm a scientist, I'm spiritual, but I'm a scientist. So yes, once you bring awareness to something, you see it. Once you say, I want to see this, that's what happens. The butterfly might have already been there. And then I just was very hyper aware of it and I was able to see it. The leaves might have already been there and I was hyper aware to see it. The red car was probably there. But what it did for me was it elevated me, it amped me up. And it was just like, all right, everything I want, I'm getting it.
Yes.
Everything that I want, everything that I have thought of exists already. And now I'm just creating the space for it to show up for me. So that's what I encourage people to play that game, especially if you're ever feeling a little low or if you're feeling worried about something, just play that game with yourself and just see what happens.
So for me, it manifested in a different way. So I'm laying in bed the other night and, so one of the things that have come out of, I'm just going to actually read some of the goals that I had.
Yeah, go ahead.
At the end of the course and just kind of like speak to what has happened with them. So my first one was to purchase a new residence that I can grow in, design, love, and be proud of. I also want to afford it easily. And I said, I want to purchase this home within the next 2.5 months. So I wrote these goals down. I think it was like the first week of April.
Okay. My
second one was, I want to receive an offer of a certain dollar amount on my current residence by March 31st. And by selling my home. My home is, I'm closing escrow on May 6th and it's sold. And although I didn't get all the way to this number, I got pretty damn close.
That's right.
And it was well over asking. So that was a phenomenal, that in and of itself, when we started this lesson, I didn't even know. That was just like, do I want to sell my home? Now we're at the end of the course and my house is sold. I'm moving next weekend. It's crazy. And by the way, goal number 1, to purchase a new residence, we did find a home that we will be purchasing.
Okay.
That is going to allow for me to, I've already started drawing up my own plans for it. I'm not an architect or anything, but there's definitely some things I want to do differently to it. It's affordable, which is crazy in this day and age, especially in Los Angeles. And, we're told that the person who's living there will be moving out in June, which would literally make it like 2 months from when I wrote my goals. Yeah. And I said, I want to be in within the next 2.5 months. So that's something that I am already manifesting is going to happen. I said, I want to get involved in real estate investing within the next 6 months. And I've already, there's so many different ways.
You're already involved in it though.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
There's so many different ways that we can, but even just like I said, showing a friend a home and being able to take part in that some way, or whatever. And now I have people reaching out to me, friends of mine reaching out to me, to help them figure out how they can get their funds together and figure out what to do to buy their first home. I'm now studying for my real estate exam. So all these different things that I didn't even know that I wanted, that I knew that I wanted. Not that I knew that I wanted, that were in my subconscious are now finally happening. Yeah. I'm managing properties. I have multiple properties. I'm, helping friends find properties and still doing my job. Yeah. It's like my 9 to 5 is like the other thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And now all these things that I was afraid to focus on are now just a part of, they're just my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I'm able to do them without skipping a beat on like the other things that I've already like, you know, committed to. And it's such a like, I mean, it hasn't even been 4 months.
I know.
It literally hasn't even been 4 months. We put our house on the market. It was on the market for 8 days. Got 2 offers.
Yeah.
Closed. I mean, it's like,
it happens just like that.
I mean, when you set your intention and you believe that like what it is that you're doing is what you need to be doing and what you're supposed to be doing, and you use like all these tools, like I said, setting my intention, that was a huge meditating, just like, I started speaking just now because I, just like how you had manifested these things, I was laying in bed the other day, and the reality is I'm still who I am. So I still am always like, if I can't control things, you know, I'm moving out of my home. I don't have a home that I'm moving into right away. I have a place to go, but that's a little, you know, unnerving to me. But I know when the end date is for this other home, and it's June, and whatever, everything's going to work out. But you know, I was laying in bed the other day and I was like, damn, like, this is crazy. Like, is this really what we should be doing right now? Like, I know that I've done all the work around it. I know that like I've been meditating on it, you know, and then I'm watching This Is Us. That's one of my shows. I like to cry. And
I don't know how you watched that show.
Literally the episode that I watched, which was like probably over a week ago, but I hadn't seen it yet, was literally like a family making a decision to move out of their home into a new home for the life that they didn't know that they wanted, but that they needed. I mean, so for crying, I mean, I was just like, I woke up the next morning and my eyes were still puffy because I was just like, it was almost like just reassuring me that I was doing what I was supposed to do.
And it comes through you have all this perfect channels.
Little box that you're living in and the life that you're living in. And people, sometimes you're afraid to shake it up. And I've always been afraid to shake things up. I mean, I take risks, but like, again, they're always so calculated that sometimes, and I've always had so much control that this time I don't feel as in control in a way that I used to, but I feel in control of how I'm going to deal with it. And I know that it's coming. So it's like, I'm not worried. I don't have anxiety about it. It is what it is. And, you know, there's probably going to be so many more blessings that come and, you know, in the interim of this home being, you know, brought into our lives. So I just feel really empowered. I mean, that's
and
really
you're gonna get that other part of that too.
Oh,
I know that. I feel that. I don't know how, but I was like, she's gonna get that other part of that house. That number that you asked for is gonna show up because it has to. Because you put it out there already. So it's like, not that way, but we're gonna bring it in another kind of way.
I love that. Great.
It's usually how it always happens. It's just like, I didn't get it this way, but it came like this. It's just like, okay.
I'm chipping away at it. I've got some little bit of stuff coming in.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. And keep track of it. Keep track of what comes in. Even if it's just like paychecks, just keep track of it because it's going to come in. You know what I mean? And sometimes when we don't,
that could be my raise.
That could be it could be a lot
my
of
promotion.
Shit. It could be a lot.
I don't know what that
things.
is yet, but
it could be a lot of things. You know, we don't know. You know, but sometimes we get so caught up in what we wanted to look like, we don't even pay attention to how the other ways that it's been coming in. Like, and spirit is like, I brought it to you. You didn't look at it.
So, and you have to appreciate it.
You have to appreciate it.
And
you have to
recognize
just like kind of keep track of it. So that's what I'll do. Like, I'll keep track of like all of like the extra money that I've gotten in, or just whatever. Even if it's just like somebody treated me to dinner, somebody bought me a drink. I'll track all of that because that's money. You know what I mean? That's abundance. So sometimes it may not show up like in a full-on check. You know? It's nice when it does.
It does. But it's also nice to just, you know, my husband and I have been receiving blessings. We got a check in the mail the other day and I was just like, what's this for? You know, he was at our other house in the desert and I was like, you just got a check. And I'm like, what was this even for? You know,
so write that down.
Write
all of that stuff down. And you'll notice, you know, when you add it up, you're just like, oh shit. I just made an extra $5,000 this month doing nothing. You know, so cool. Yeah,
it was amazing. I mean, I almost could see myself. I mean, now that I have the tools, I could still see. You know what I really loved about, another thing that I really loved about, just not even just what it did for me, but like being in a setting where you could hear everybody else have, kind of give their testimonies on a weekly basis. I loved how you opened the class with what were your wins, because we tend to focus on our losses a lot. We tend to focus on the negative.
Yeah.
And, some days we'd start the class and I'm just like, I don't know what my wins were this week. I was just barely getting through the damn week. I mean, getting up and getting my kid to school on time is a goddamn win these days. I mean, like, seriously. But, you would hear people talk about their wins and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, I actually have 3 really significant things that happened to me this week that are worth even speaking about. Yes. I mean, like, starting the class that way. And like I said, kind of like, it was like I'm at a loss for what the word is, but it was like I don't know, just being amongst each other and it was like communion, like us being together and just like telling our stories and seeing what some lessons did for others versus what lessons did for others, and helping people. And it was just, I loved being a part of like that sisterhood or brotherhood, you know what I mean? And being able to just like share in what these lessons were doing for each of us every week. Yeah. And I feel like everybody who took the course, all of us, we really did come out on the other side feeling like we have like a true purpose and that we know how to get there. Yeah. And most of us have already kind of gotten there. I mean, like we've already reached those goals like within a few weeks. Yeah.
That's really big too, because some people might look at 8 weeks and be like, that's not enough time to hit anything. But if you do the work, you can hit it. You 100%. Can definitely hit it if you do the work.
I mean, I'm an example of that. 100%. Like I said, I started this course thinking it was going to start trying to work on my fitness and just focus more on me. And it ended up being that as well, because now I am focusing on what I want to do for the rest of my life. And
you'll have time for fitness.
Yeah. I mean, the fitness is coming anyway. I mean, that's something I can do anyway. Like, I don't even need to focus on that like that because it's part of my lifestyle. I actually needed to be focusing on something that was so much bigger than that.
That's right.
That I was suppressing and it's just been a blessing. Like I just feel really empowered and, I'm ready to, once I achieve these goals, I mean, I have so many more goals, that I didn't even ask questions about because I know the answer to those ones. Yeah. But when the time comes, I will do my pendulum magic on that and decide, okay, what's next? I love having like a focus, whether it's 8 weeks or 10 weeks or 20 weeks or whatever it takes. Like, this is what I want to focus on. And until I get there, I mean, I love that about the setting the intentions too. It's like, set your intentions, but don't keep changing what your intentions are. Right. Set your intentions and stick to that until it becomes a reality. And then you move on to the next one.
That's right.
And so that's what I've been doing.
Yeah. And some people were like, what if it takes 3 years? It's like, then it takes 3 years.
Then it takes 3 years. And it likely won't. I mean,
it probably won't. That's the thing.
If you're doing all the work, if you're doing all the work, it probably won't take 3 years.
Take 3 years. It might take 3 months.
Yeah.
Tops, but not 3 years. Yeah. So, and that's the other thing. It's about being patient. Like, and the patience comes with the peace. That's why the meditation portion is so important, because it just keeps you here. It keeps you centered. It keeps you focused. It keeps you in a state of joy. And when you're joyful, you don't really have time to worry about, is this happening? Is that happening? Yeah. When you're in that state of joy, that's real success. I think I posted something like that the other day, like true success is knowing how to bring yourself to a state of joy, regardless of your circumstances, because you can take your focus off of, I don't have it, because I don't have it. When is it coming? Pushes it further away. But when you're joyful, you're just busy doing what you need to do to get there anyway. Yeah. So it's just like, I'm going to get there because I'm peaceful, I'm joyful, I'm happy, and I think that's the most important part. It's just putting yourself in a positive state. And I know positive sounds so like cliche because everybody think positive, but it works.
It does.
It works.
Does 100%.
And when you don't think positive and when things come up, I'm not saying ignore it. I'm saying pay attention to it and say, what's the message that you have for me right now? Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling worried? What is this anxiety about? Sit with it and ask it. What's happening here? Why is this happening? And write that shit down.
Yeah.
Because there's a message in there. It's something that's useful, it's beneficial for us. So we can't always be joyful and happy but even when you're not, that's a perfect opportunity to figure out what the imbalance is and figure out what the message is in that, because it's something trying to come through. So it's we have to learn how to appreciate the wonderful, joyful moments and the not so wonderful, joyful moments, because they're all beneficial. They're all good. It's all good. It's just like, okay, I'm sad today. Why? And usually once you figure out why, it goes away. Because you take the power off of it, because it's what it is. And like what they say in G.I. Joe, knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
So shit.
But sometimes it could even be someone else's energy.
It could be somebody else's energy. Absolutely.
That's
right.
It could be someone else's energy. So,
that's right.
So clearing that sometimes is really all you need to do to get back on the good foot, so to speak. But just like you said, it's with all of the energies, you can learn a lot.
Yeah.
And there's positive and negative energies, and you can learn from both.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately it's really about, again, setting your intention and being mindful of it, and, just not being afraid.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. Let those energies kind of run through you, meditate, like find that peace, tithe to yourself, give yourself the time that you need. I still really have a hard time with that. Like I said, for me, it's earlier in the mornings, but sometimes my son gets in bed the night before and he's just like pushing me off the bed, and it is what it is. But, so sometimes it's harder to like take that time, but it's about making like a conscious decision that like, I deserve that time.
That's
Even
right.
if it's just like on the ride home and I can't close my eyes.
Yeah. Oh my God. I meditate a lot while I'm driving.
Just no music, just like quiet, and just, and being at peace with like the day that I've had and like what's to come when I get home, and just all of those things. Like I've always struggled with that. And now it's like, I set my intention to like make that a priority.
Yeah.
And it's been really good for my life. It's been really eye-opening, and it's just given me so much more peace and less anxiety. And, and I don't have anxiety. Like I would say it can get really bad. Like I've always kind of figured out a way to like, okay, get through that. But mine manifests in other ways. And even those ways I've just been like more at peace,
Yeah.
So it's just been, like I said, I keep saying empowering, because I feel like that really truly is what this course is about. It empowers you to, take a step out of your comfort zone, focus on what you need to focus on, what's in your subconscious, not what you think you're supposed to do. And it gives you the clear answer of what that is. And then you set your intentions on how to get there. And that's literally what this course has been for me.
Yeah. Good.
I'm just ready. Like I can't wait to see where I'm going to be. We should do this again in 6 months. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
I can't wait to see where I'm going to be in 6 months from now. It's
absolutely.
just, I'm like beyond excited to see what it's going to be, because I know along the way I'm going to be setting more intentions, and things are going to flourish.
And you have tools now to get you there a lot faster.
Sure do. I'm really excited.
That's awesome. I'm so happy. Thank you for coming by today.
Thanks. Well, you're out, but
we got a whole nother bottle.
Yes, we
do.
So
we're not done with our day. And my eyes are getting chinky now, so that means it's time for me to go. Because I still need to maintain a level of professionalism on this channel, right? Y'all don't need to see the other side of me. But anyway, so this video will be up if you guys want to go, for everybody who will catch it later on. I know it's a Saturday, so most people are living life, which is fine,
as we are,
because I'm about to be living mine too.
Yeah.
But thank you again, honey, for coming by. I love you.
Thanks for having me. I love you
too.
Thank you so much for even asking me to be a part of this. And I'm so glad that I did. And like I said, it's been really eye-opening.
Good.
And, you know, I even told you I can't wait to like share this with my husband and
Yes,
just like, because
please
he's got
do.
all his things going on
Yeah.
and just with just people in general. Like I really feel like this was
Mhm.
a course that needed to be taken, especially at this time in my life.
Yeah.
And so many things are happening now because of it. So I really appreciate it.
Good. Absolutely. Well, I thank you for saying yes. When I like sent that email out, like, I need beta testers. Come on. Everybody's like, yes, yes, yes. I was like, oh shit, I hope I can fill it up like this with other people. So
yeah.
And it's getting filled right now. So
that's awesome.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate you stopping by and saying yes to being on here, because I know you're not a fan of the camera.
No, I'm
but
not.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
And thanks to the 4 people that showed up today. I know you guys will watch it later, so it will be up. I might change the title. I don't know. Maybe I'll call it like Black Girl Magic in Real Estate or something. Like that.
Okay.
Because sometimes you have to wait for the live to be over to figure out what the title is going to be. So, all right, guys. I love you so much. I will see you on Monday, and I think I'm going to be talking about something that I forgot already. So
that's okay. It'll be up on Monday, y'all. Tune in.
Be up on Monday.
Tune in on Monday.
That's what 1 glass of champagne will do to the girl. All right. Love y'all.
Bye.
Peace. Oh, don't forget, check out the B.E.M.A.G.I.C course. Hello.
Yeah.
Check that out. It's a link in the description box that will take to my website. Check the B.E.M.A.G.I.C course. If you sign up before May 10th, you save $500, and there are 3 payment plans. So check it out. All of the information about the course is on my website. And I think that if you're ready to take a leap and have some huge successes and move out of your comfort zone or your safe small zone into a bigger place in your life, then you definitely need to take this course.
Take the course.
Absolutely.
Take the course. It will give you the tools you need to move forward in your life in a way that you've always wanted and just didn't know how to do. I swear it's like, I'm a testament to it, and you need to take the course.
Yes, you've heard it. And I'm probably going to bring some of the other beta testers on here who took the course and let you hear their testimonies as well, because I think it's important for us to tap into our own power, and because we're moving into a time now. I'm not even going to get on all of that.
That's a whole nother.
I went on a tangent.
I might
class.
need a bottle of champagne for that
one. We might need to do another video on that. But we're moving into a time now where you're going to need to understand your energy, and you're going to need to learn how to heal yourself. Trust me, especially with this 5G networks, this 5G technology stuff. I think I might post a video in the community section of a documentary on that 5G technology, not to scare anybody, but just so that you're aware of what's going on. So this type of work that we're doing here is very, very important, because you're going to need to understand how to circumvent the things that are coming in the next year. 2020 is going to be interesting, y'all.
Oh,
so I love you. And there's plenty of YouTubers out there that talk all about that. I highly recommend you listen to Shara Star Goddess. She's excellent. She touches on all of that stuff, decoding and all of that. That's her wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is all about working with your mind and understanding your energy and learning how to deal with all of that that's coming. Okay. So love you all. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye.